To defeat him.
How? He know the law. What you gotta know?
The law.
Can you be tricked and fall into jurisdiction
Not
when
if
you know law?
Not if you know law.
No, because what's the elements of a contract? Does anybody know? Come on, spit them out.
Substantive contract.
Huh?
Substantive offer.
Substantive offer. Conscious agreement.
Mutual acceptance. Producible. Party to the contract.
Party to the contract. Can't be a minor. Free will.
Cannot be created under threat, duress, or coercion.
Cannot be created under threat, duress, or coercion. Shucks, you can use just the damn contract law in those tribunals and clear yourself right after you say, I'm a Moorish American national. First, say that first. So they know what they know you dealing with and what they not dealing with. Right? Even though they're going to ignore you and be like, and they're going to sit here and start talking around you like, I don't know what she's talking about, but there's a whole lot of other subjects in here. I don't need to be dealing with this right now. So I'm going to be sitting here acting like I don't hear nothing. When we going to set trial? What? When? What y'all want to do? I can't deal with this energy sitting in front of me. Huh? You don't have an attorney? Who should be having an attorney? Damn, what does the Zodiac Constitution talk about attorneys?
Don't represent Moors.
They don't represent Moors. Why?
We represent ourselves.
Why don't attorneys represent Moors?
Because they're barristers, they're British, they're members of the Bar Association.
And
accreditation registry.
Right.
Which is foreign.
And
fraud.
They're registered and incorporated by the Commonwealth of the Fictitious Corporation.
Right.
They're working against you.
Right.
Based on who licensed hello them. And what is their duty? First to them and also to do what? Bring you into the tribunal, submit you to jurisdiction, and be like, all right, I'm out. Yep. I got my fee.
And they take that permission you give them and walk in and get the
only reasons why they sit here and push them on because they want jurisdiction.
Right.
And it's another way they do the trickery piece. Right? But they can't trick you into a contract. You gotta sign one. Right. But you gotta know what the elements are to the contract. And if you don't know elements to the contract, yeah, they can trick you all day. But you still have a defense, and there's no such thing as statutory limitations on what?
Fraud.
There we go.
Also, too, you said the Vizir judge. It says, Luke chapter 11. Verse
Who?
Luke, book of Luke.
Say that one more time. You talking about what? You're talking about in the Bible. What do we use the Bible for?
Cool.
What do we use the Bible for?
It's a study guide, it's a tools.
For? It's for who?
The record book of the Son.
It's for who?
For them.
Thank you.
Right.
What do we use to talk about ourselves? Okay. Why are people confused about that? Don't use the Quran to talk about me and you. Use the Quran to judge them because that is their what? That's the Bible, but what is it to them? The freaking law.
It's the law.
Right?
Yes.
They law. So don't talk to me about verse 67 to, unless you're talking about them.
We talking about them.
I'll be telling you, man. I know you are. I'm reaching other people that know who I'm looking to reach. Right?
16. Let's talk about them liars.
So what was it again? So what was the
Luke chapter 11.
Luke,
book of Luke.
chapter what?
Chapter 11.
Verse
46.
46. And what does that say about the Albion?
Luke Skywalker.
What does it say?
The lawyers actually are liars, but they hold the key of knowledge, but they hinder you with the burden. That's what they're telling you, actually.
You're gonna go find it and
we can find it.
read it verbatim so we can have the actual factual
right there.
But
Luke.
Biblios, Heliotext.
So he's saying that the attorneys know the truth, right?
They know the truth.
Do you think they all
They
do?
keep it away from you and I.
Right?
Luke Skywalker.
What did Luke Skywalker say? I don't know what Luke Skywalker said. What did Luke Sky? I didn't see. You know what? They done made so many Star Treks. I don't know what's going on.
Really? Oh wow.
What? Oh my God! Where did that book come from? Oh, it was on the shelf. I'm about to say, did you bring that? Look like a
Classic.
Oh, yeah.
That's a dictionary. What
Yeah,
year?
yeah, yeah.
That's a Bible?
Yeah.
Wow, bring that up here. I want to see that. Now I want to read that. Bring me that one. I gotta show the world this book. I gotta show you this book.
Yeah.
It looks good. Now I want to see it out of this book.
Let me bring it around.
Look at this book.
Yeah.
Look at this one.
Take that top off.
Look at that.
Just the cover.
That is interesting. Oh, which how much?
Couple pages.
It's long. What year is this? I don't even know.
1898.
Where you see that at? Oh, 1896.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, awesome. Let's read
Luke
this.
chapter 11,
Is Luke?
verse 46
No, I don't know where it's at.
and 52.
Oh, I thought you was gonna look it up.
Nah,
Look, they got
film
pictures
it.
in here too. Let me see. What's this? Oh, they always got put in the well. Is they book? I mean, I can see why they got him in there, looking like him.
They telling you what they do.
Look at him pushing the papers all delicately. He don't
Yeah,
want to.
that thing's fragile.
That ain't fragile. That's the first page was. You see them? Oh, look at that.
You got pictures too.
I need to look at that book.
Jesus, man.
I'm gonna snap all those photos. Man, maybe I shouldn't. No, I'm not. Never mind.
18, what is it? 1890 what?
1896. Are you really looking? You looking to see where it's at?
Yep.
They don't have it. Where the hell? Where they got
It's
the
in the New
names at?
Testament.
It's in the New Testament.
I like it. I like all
Place
this.
in there for births and all of that. Look at that.
Yeah, because your so-called home Bible is supposed to have all of your heirs, just like how it's presented in that book, because that book is a reflection of us, even though it's not for us, but it's a reflection of us. We had I don't want to call it Bibles because y'all sit here automatically think Christianity, but those books and our books at home, we had all of our so-called birth records for all of our children. And we passed them down from generation to generation. Think about so-called Charmed. I don't know if anybody watched the show, but I love Charmed.
I got the whole original series.
I got it too. And they actually came out with a new one with Borincans. You got Borincans in the new one, Spaniards.
The one that's the oldest one.
No, the new one that came
I know
out
the
last
oldest one.
year.
No, the girl, the oldest girl. She's tall, right? I've only seen a couple of episodes.
I'm gonna fight you. I haven't seen the whole series season this year.
It's
You're
just,
talking about the
it's not.
why are you always taking me off the subject? What I'm trying to say is, in that movie, they have a book of chateaus, which is kind of a book of your ancestry, where you kept a home record of your lineage, and you didn't have to go to 23andMe, you didn't have to go to any of these other places to find out who you are. You had those relics, and those relics are in all of our homes that Albions are squatting in, just so you know. And they've taken them out of those homes and put them in the libraries in the basement.
Get the series.
So our records are still out there somewhere.
I don't know. I don't.
Prior to,
I got the
There you go.
anyway.
Right here.
You got it?
Right here.
Finally? What is it?
It don't have
46? Is this Luke?
Yeah,
How you know
yeah,
this is Luke? Oh,
Yeah, Charmed.
go ahead. Wait a minute. Where's it at? 46?
Right here.
You read that. I can't go with the ye, these, ah, though, thou. Go ahead, read it. Turn around and read it.
And he
Tahir.
said, "Woe unto you
Tahir, what's
also."
wrong?
No, I got it. I mean, you just.
1998.
And he said, "Woe unto
Go
you
around
also, ye lawyers, for ye laid men with burdens grievous to be borne, and ye yourselves touch not the burdens with one of your fingers." Alright? Should I read it again?
No, come on. Go to the Google and get it to decipher that, please. Because you read it so you like, and he ye. Oh.
You
I'm
like
like-
Hebrew Israelites. And he said,
And he said. Where we at? Is this it, man?
46.
46. No.
Oh, 40. Oh, right here.
No,
Over
you're the
here?
wrong one. This one right here.
Goddamn lot for that thing. It's
See,
crazy.
they added stuff to this, to Luke.
And he said, "Woe unto you also, ye lawyers, for ye lay men with burdens grievous to be borne. And those burdens are, and ye yourself touch not the burdens with one of your fingers." So what they're saying is that they leave you with some bullshit, that they themselves don't touch, right? And this is, and they're kind of telling you, and this is why they don't want you to read any of these documents, which you don't read. Just sit here, just go Google search some stuff, and they'll take some stuff out of it, and you won't know. And a lot of these documents come from what's the ancient law book? Jurisprudence and Secundum. What is it?
It's American jurisprudence and it's
And where does it say in that ancient book? In what section in that book does it specifically speak to the jurisdiction of the so-called attorneys and why you don't give them? Because it tells them the first duty is to who?
That's the American.
It don't say the bar. It says something specific.
That's the American jurisprudence.
Court.
Chapter 16, page 170.
Find it.
179.
Find it.
I know what it is. I wrote it down. I sent it into one of my documents.
Well, why can't you state it verbatim? I don't want your thoughts. I want the actual words.
Okay. I'll look for it. I got it.
They tell you, and why you think every movie talk about they snakes? Because you know the snake tongue is what? What is it? How does this?
Double talk.
So they tell you all the time. So why is it every time you turn around, you better get a lawyer? I'm going to get you an attorney.
There's a second part to that.
There's a second part to it. Where?
Verse 52.
52. Woe unto you lawyers, for ye have taken away the key of knowledge.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is.
Ye entered not in yourselves, and them that were entering, and ye hindered.
It's long. So you see why they pay attorneys so much? You gotta pay people a lot of money to lie to a lot of people every day of their life, because they gotta be able. So for all you individuals that love this book, won't you read it? Won't you read it and liberate yourself?
At least know what you read.
Read it and liberate yourself, because it tells you not to get an attorney, and it tells you what an attorney and a lawyer does. They lie. They lie. They submit you to the will of a jurisdiction they know damn well you don't belong a part of. They hold you to so-called codes they know are not law, and they subject you to it all day long. Did you find that information?
Well, almost there.
You almost there?
Yeah.
I think it's Secundum, but
No, it's
jurisprudence.
It's jurisprudence, American jurisprudence. Right there.
It's American jurisprudence where it speaks about who the attorneys have their first duty to. You like down there in number 5 or 6 or 7 are not even on the damn list.
I wrote it on here because it's part of my research. I'm going to bomb these
Because if they want it, because if their first duty is to the corporate state, if their first duty is to the corporate state, this fictitious corporation, what so-called codes are they going to enforce? The ones for which they were licensed. So if I'm licensed to only know or only admit or acknowledge the Commonwealth of this fictitious corporation under the code, statutes, and ordinances, I'm not going to speak or even think about Constitution. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not even going to acknowledge it. Because my first duty is to that fictitious corporation that's licensed to me. And another reason why so-called attorneys can't even be under the nobility clause of the Constitution, can be hold an office. Why can't they hold office, y'all?
They cannot hold office because we didn't delegate them to have an office.
Why didn't we do it? Why did we say specifically attorneys and lawyers can never hold office in our government? Say it again? They're not trustworthy, but it's more specific. They took an oath to what? They took an oath to the bar, which is an oath to who? Right. So they took an oath to the Queen. Can they take an oath to the Constitution if they already got a predating oath to the Queen?
No.
So that's a conflict of interest, isn't it? Can they even hold an office if they breach it with that whole oath? Thank you. That's why they can't hold it.
And this is what the majority of the fake de facto Congress are.
Islam.
Attorneys, lawyers, liars.
Islam. Rebuilding Jerusalem. Y'all so funny. I ain't even going through this whole thing. Because that book was...
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
I love it.
It's Corpus Juris Secundum.
I told you it's Secundum.
It's volume 7, section 4, attorney and client.
Go up here. No, come up here. Oh, you got your tablet.
No,
Yeah, come up here and read it.
Uh-huh.
And start where you got it from. Read that to them.
All right.
So maybe people will stop spending all the energy
Okay.
on
I'm
somebody
gonna
who's
read
never
the
going
paragraph
to.
before that. because
Say it again.
I want to read the paragraph before that because they think because they have a license they got authority. So I want to read
Okay.
that.
Start with the topic of discussion. What book you're reading from?
Okay, well, the topic of discussion is Corpus Juris Secundum, CJS. That's Volume 7, Section 4, Attorney and Client. But first, before I go to that, lawyers and attorneys are not licensed to practice law. Allow them to go up and say they're licensed for 20 years or whatever.
Right.
Okay. The nature of a lawyer craft, as per the United States Supreme Court, the practice of law cannot be licensed by any state. State, that's small state, uppercase state. Schwer versus Board of Examiners, 353, United States, 238, 239. That's the page number. A certificate from the state Supreme Court only, capital letters, only authorizes the practice of law in courts. Okay, only in the courts. So we all could be practicing law. As a member of the state judicial branch of the de facto government, thereby only, capital letters, only represent wards of the court, infants, persons of unsound mind. You can't represent us. Okay, now the Corpus Juris Secundum, Volume 7, Section 4, Attorney and Client. The attorney's first duty is to the courts and the public, not to the client. In addition, wherever the duties to his client conflict with those he owes as an officer of the court in the administration of justice, the former must yield to the latter. Clients are also called wards of the court concerning their relationship with their attorneys. Corpus Juris Secundum assumes courts will operate in a lawful manner. If the accused makes this assumption, he may learn, to his detriment, through experience, that certain questions of law, including the question of personal jurisdiction, may never be raised and addressed, especially when the accused is represented by bar. Sometimes, as the British accreditation or British access to registry, sometimes licensed counsel appears to take on the characteristics of a fox guarding the henhouse. Jurisdiction once challenged is to be proven, not by the court, but by the party attempting to assert jurisdiction. The burden of proof of jurisdiction lies with the assertor. The court is only to rule on the sufficiency of the proof tendered. See McNutt versus General Motors Acceptance Corporation, 298, United States, page 178, 1936. The origins of this doctrine of law may be found in Maxfield versus Levy, 4 United States, 330, 1797. That was de jure. 4 U.S. 330, Dahl, 2 Dahl, 381, 2 U.S. 381, 1 L edition 424. Some of that stuff I still can't read. I'm learning.
You done?
And that's it.
What was the scriptures again on that?
No scriptures. Oh,
That's Corpus Juris Secundum.
that's the
Yes, but I mean,
Section,
that's the no, that's the
Section
case law.
Section 4.
You want the case law?
Yeah.
Oh, you want it?
And where does those lawful
Volume 7,
documents,
Section
secundum and
Volume.
jurisprudence,
Volume 7.
derive their authority? Not necessarily authority. It's a compilation of court cases. That's what that document is. Once court cases are decided, they're added to that book. But we always want to go to the older books because as they add, after, like I say, 1861, none of that is validated or substantiated.
I need to make a recommendation. I did a lot of work refining all that stuff. I don't have a set. We all should get each set. Both the Corpus Juris Secundum and the American Jurisprudence.
You know how much that is? I
They're
wanted
all
to get it 3
averaging-
years ago.
They're all averaging $600 to $1,000.
A book.
Yeah,
And it's like 30 in a series.
that's fine. We all should work to get it
We should.
because
Because I've tried, they're
It's
very,
focused.
very
it's
expensive.
focused. People can do their
But
homework.
in all law libraries and also in all so-called university libraries, they all have all those books, just so you
Yes,
know.
they do.
They just don't have them in the so-called public libraries. Because obviously they don't want your subjects to know the law. That's why they're not there. So definitely get those books. And the reality is the publishing company that made those books so high, we need to lien them. And that was West who? Come on, y'all. Who's going to do the lien?
excuse
Westlaw.
me.
Westlaw. So Westlaw needs to be leaned for charging an astronomical amount of finance for law, which is our duty and our right to know free and clear. And you shouldn't have to go to a law library and pay a fee to go even in there and view these books and these documents. So what is those two? Who produces or who publishes the secundum and jurisprudence? Look it up. Because I need the Moors to lien them. I don't want to do the lien. I just did 2 liens this week, and those 2 liens were one for Assyrian Insurance, that is under Verizon Wireless Corporation, because they wanted to deny nationality identification as a proof of identity. And what does that violate, y'all? Because we was talking about this last week. And I told everybody to print it out and keep it in their persons. And whenever they're challenged by any of these corporations as to what is actual lawful identification, you prove it to them. And I've proved it on 5 occasions, and only 1 occasion those individuals wanted to be belligerent in saying that you needed a corporate card, and their lien was processed 2 days ago, and that is Assyrian Insurance, which is the assurance for Verizon Wireless, as well as Metro Storage LLC. Metro Self Storage LLC, which is a big corporation that violates the supreme laws of the land by taking people's property from their domiciles under the direction of these fictitious corporations claiming to be sheriffs, and putting them in those facilities and then stealing out of them and charging you for your own stuff back. So those are the 2 corporations I leaned this week. That was Metro Self Storage LLC. That's a global corporation, but its headquarters is in Chicago, Illinois corporate district, as well as Assyrian Insurance for violating the supreme laws of the land and not accepting the nationality identification card as proof of insurance per the Department of State website. Tells them what they're supposed to do. My ear is still ringing. It's crazy. So are we past contracts? Do I gotta keep going over contracts, y'all? Seriously? I'm done with contracts. Is somebody else is here? Who's that? Islam! That's so cool. You know, it's so cool when you see people's faces that you do identifications for, and you be like, I know you. I've met you before. And I'll be like, no, you didn't. You just did our ID. I'm like, okay. Islam.
Okay,
So,
West publishes American jurisprudence.
West who?
West, just West. West Law, I guess.
West Law publishes
American jurisprudence.
American jurisprudence books, and who publishes Secundum?
Looks like Thomas Reuters.
Thomas who?
Thomas Reuters.
Thomas Reuters?
Reuters.
Reuters
R-E-U-T-E-R.
publishes what? I'm gonna write it. Can you write it down since you got it up? I want y'all not to forget, because it's got to get done. Because we need those books.
A lot of them be on.
We need them for $39.90. No, we need them for free, actually.
Encyclopedias. There's 2 leading encyclopedias of the United States law.
United States law? My head is like banging right now.
And state.
A lot of them be
I
on.
should have left this up.
A lot of them have online.
All right, so what is, how you, what's the, what?
Okay, corpus juris
My
secundum
damn head hurt, huh?
is authority in court. It says Thomas West.
Thomas?
Wait a minute, let me see.
Oh, wait a
It
minute.
just has Thomas West. It doesn't have West. I think it's West Publishing. I'm familiar with
Thomas West?
Yeah.
Is that the name of the corporation?
It says brand, Thomas West.
And he produces, and he publishes what book? Series?
Corpus juris secundum.
Corpus? Oh goodness, what is up with this?
Thomas West. I'm going to look up West Law in this.
That one they
He does
Okay,
corpus.
Thomas Reuters.
He
West
does
Law.
corpus what?
Corpus juris secundum. Juris secundum.
Say that one more time.
secun.
N as in Nancy?
Yes, secundum. DUM. Corpus juris secundum.
And who does the other one? Jurisprudence.
Jurisprudence that's I just had it.
Come on. He the only one looking. Y'all all got all these electronic devices. Why
Okay,
he the
that's
only one looking?
also West.
Huh?
Also West.
Oh, say again.
Also West.
So Thomas West Publishing does Corpus Juris Secundum and
American jurisprudence.
American Jurisprudence.
A lot of those are available online through Lexis, Nexus, and Westlaw. They have like
You gotta have a membership.
yeah. So
You gotta pay for that membership,
so,
and it's only online.
so we did a collective.
Huh?
I said we did a national collective.
No, all we gotta do is lead them and tell them to offer the damn books everywhere, and
Right.
we just get them. We just
Online.
tell them to send them to my, no, tell them to send me the whole series to my house. What are you talking about? I don't wanna go
Okay.
online and look for, I wanna have the books in my face.
Okay, it was originally, this is American jurisprudence.
Because then you gotta know what you're looking for when you go there.
It was originally launched by Lawyers Cooperative Publishing, and then it was acquired later on by Townsend Corporation.
So he's the current owner of the so-called
Of
publishing
the
rights of these two
publishing
books.
rights, yeah.
All right, so who gonna do the lien? You did 2 liens. I ain't gonna make you one. We should do. No. I'm about to say no. I needed to actually get done to here.
Tell her.
You gonna do it? Who's gonna do? I mean, more than 3 people need to do it for real. For real, online. Who's gonna do it online? Any hands going up? Thomas West Publishing, because they have corpus juris secundum and American jurisprudence, and they both have books on contracts.
And the contract in that section 4 of the lien, which is state that all boards should get access to.
Not access.
I mean,
Well, access.
no, but not have to pay.
Exactly.
anything.
Access, as well as when we order the books, they come to our domicile free and clear of no feudal fee,
Right.
because they're our books.
Right.
And they've been making out like a fat rat on our books right now.
Yeah.
And we haven't been having access to them because this is where the so-called real law is. And we want the older books really because the newer books is promoting what? Corporate policy.
The corporate juris secundum is the authority in most courts. It's the authority. So if you go
It's
into
in
the-
all courts
Excuse me,
because it's based
it's
on
the authority
American law.
Right.
It's supposed to be anyway.
in their jurisdiction.
In whose
In
jurisdiction?
their jurisdiction.
Who?
In the jurisdiction of
They don't
the
have one
colonies.
outside of us.
Yeah, we are the law. We're the government. Sorry.
Because you know what a state is, right? Come on, y'all. Oh, let me write it right. Come on, read the state, please. Who can establish a state?
We the people. We the people.
That's right.
Why can we, the people, establish the state?
Because we the people make the government, not the government the people.
Why specifically the people and we, the people, only can make a state? We, the people, can only make a state because of our status, which is? Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Okay, so in our jurisdiction.
And this is and when they so-called
So-
call you
so
in,
we-
wait a minute, and when they so-called call you into their so-called tribunals, aren't they violating this?
Yes, they are.
Acts of state.
Acts of state.
Because they're not a state. They're a corporation. You make up a state because you got sovereign and you got the only authority to do it. They can't hold you to anything. They can't hold you to close all this. They can't hold you to that because they're not a state.
All right, so I'm correcting. In the pseudo corporate courts.
They don't have courts. You can't call them that. I don't know why I'm getting so.
Wait, I meant,
Military tribunal.
yeah. Okay.
And we gotta, and it's really about it being a tribe. Family. Should be called family bunals. Fambunals. I don't know. Fambunals or something like that. Because a tribe denotes to us, like tribe.
Fake bunals.
Families are slaves.
Fake bunal.
They ain't tribes. Either.
It's T-R-I.
A fake
People
bunal.
spell it, it's spelled like that in the Treaty of Peace and
Vowels are
Friendship.
interchangeable. That's how we did
Vowels
it.
are
Yes, they are.
I didn't know that.
Thank you. Awesome.
Why is that?
Vowels are interchangeable.
My ears hurt.
That's
So,
why a lot of
when they
times
sit here like,
they
when they
use
sit here
vowels.
for Amendment 10, 9 and 10, when they sit here talk about it's held to the state and the people, the only people that can make any changes are the state and the people.
Right.
Talking about y'all. They ain't talking about no
Sovereignty.
Albions.
Right.
And they try to use that. Be like, oh, it's reserved for the state and the people. Yeah, but you gotta be a state and only sovereigns can establish states. That's why all of theirs look like this.
Yep. Capital.
Yep.
That's what they are for. Capital. Trade and commerce.
I've been beating this to death. So who's doing Thomas West Publishing? Y'all make me do it, I will do it. But you know, who's gonna do it? I need somebody to get some practice. Aneb, you just had lean class.
I already got stuff lined up. After taking
Of course
the
I
whole-
wanted to get
after
done
taking
this
the whole
millennium.
week of videos.
I'll do it.
Tahir said he was gonna do it. I need 3 people. Say it again.
If somebody show me, I'll do it.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna show you. You know how I'm gonna show you? Cause I'm uploading that 3-part video, that lean class video, and we're actually gonna have a class on Wednesday. I don't know if I should say anything. Should I keep my mouth shut?
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Yes.
Are we promoting that or are we not promoting that?
We are promoting.
It's
We're
up
going to promote it now.
because that could be the class where we walk. I mean, I don't know. Y'all tell me what the damn class is gonna be about. Is that
Class is gonna be about.
she ain't gonna get on the camera, so it's got to be Utah here. All right, huh? Wait, y'all got my head hurt right now. All right, I ain't gonna say nothing. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone then. All right. So on our next class, we're going to go over this lien. We'll go over this one, and that'll give us an opportunity for those individuals that don't know how to do a lien, we'll do this lien at that class, but this lien has to get done this week. Because, you know.
They won't be get done.
Because what did I say we're going to do?
People right here.
I know that's right. We're going to get this lien done because we're going to get our books. Because the reality is Corpus Juris Secundum has probably a whole book on contracts, y'all. A whole book on contracts, and Mary Jurisprudence has the actual, and that's where, let's say, how to live within contracts. All of that source data is usually coming from these 2 books, y'all. And that's why it's so important to have them. What's going on? They saying something?
He said, are you at the Havertown Library today? Like, yes.
Like every other Sunday. Don't change. It never changes until it gets big and we have our buildings, and then it'll be at the academy. Because we do plan on claiming a school, so we can start doing these classes among nationality classes and different things like that in the schools, as well as curriculums for the babies. So they can really learn how to not fall into the traps mommy set. Mommy be setting some straight traps and then want to celebrate Mother's Day. And Daddy be going right along with her, wanting to celebrate Father's Day. All right, so are we done contract law? Can we get to repossessions again?
Yes, please. Let's go.
I'm ready to be over this stuff now. And I tell you, somebody else talk about, you gotta cancel the contract. What? Huh? You gonna say what? If somebody say you gotta cancel the contract, you gonna say what?
What contract?
Ain't no contract.
Right. You gotta produce it. If you try to say I got a contract, I gotta see it. Where's it at? So I can let you know if that's me or not me. So you can't sit here and hold me to any debt unless you have a contract to produce. So I'm done with this topic. If you ever ask me about it, I'm just gonna refer you to these damn videos, okay? And this is courtesy of Tracey Bey. He told me to do this damn class a week ago. That's why I did the one on the 9th that nobody could hear. But the individuals in this room, that's why you're supposed to come to class. Somebody contacted me and they made me, and they really hurt my feelings. Everybody got this down?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have this, Anab?
Got it.
You got it written down now?
It's on the video. I
Oh,
got it.
damn it. I'm writing it down. Can you write it down here? My head hurt. I just want it because I need to. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to just take 2 seconds to write it down.
Corpus Juris.
Course, yeah, I just want to research it myself too. Secundum looks like it's spelled wrong.
I think it looks.
It looks wrong.
I spelled the U with the O.
Secundum?
First
It looks like it's spelled wrong.
First one.
I'm just saying.
That could be
It's not in the Black's Law.
What? That's a good question. Is it in the Black's Law? I'm hot, y'all.
I looked it up before.
It's in the Black's Law?
Wasn't in there. Corpus Juris Secundum.
I meant to bring. Oh, I actually bought the updated grid too. I should have talked about that too. Because the updated grid is hot. I'm hot, y'all. I'm like dying. Where's the paperwork? Can I see the grid part? The one that has the grid on it. Yeah, give me that. Thank you. Oh, you done gave people my grid?
No,
Who you gave my grid?
nobody.
Yeah, she did. It was
Just
5
one.
copies. I only got 2 left.
It's right here. Right here, one.
All right, I just want. I mean, I didn't make that many because I know it's available on the. All right, let me write it down. Every. Is this it? Every lawful processes we come up with gets a record number. So the record number for the Moorish American Consulate grid and outline is under record number MACN-R followed by 1, 2, 3, 4. So, they're all located in the file section of the northeast of the NEMXM group. I don't want to write it down because I get so tired of writing it down like 1,000 times. So, this, and you can search it. It's like one of the most recent documents that's been uploaded. But if you search it, search the file section of the Moorish American Consulate NEMXM file section, this will come up. And then you can download it and print it out. Alright? And I also uploaded it to Scribd. So if you put this in Google search, it should come up under Scribd as well. Okay? So there's 2 places you can find these documents and download them. Until I update the website, which I just don't feel like, I need a web designer. I don't feel like learning how to design webs, y'all. I just don't have the time. But if y'all make me like a Neb, make me waste 2 hours trying to merge that damn video from last week when he already did it already and didn't tell me, and I just wasted 2 hours. Thank you, Neb.
You put the video up?
I was still doing it. It just, every time I uploaded it,
You didn't
every
do it?
time I uploaded it, it kept saying file drives not supported, and I did it, and then I was so pissed off this day.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I was working on it for 2 hours.
Times that times.
No,
5 days.
No.
6
No.
days now.
no, no. Anyway, this is the grid and the outline that the judiciary team finally brought together. We talked about it on Thursday's call, and it got finalized. And it's the outline goes over every process. And I usually say tier one all the way up to, I think there are 8 or 9 tiers so far. And another tier is going to be approaching soon. There's 8 tiers. There's going to be 9. There's going to be 10. There's going to end up being probably going to ultimately be 11 by the time we're done with it. Why is this cut off? Oh, you suck. They cut off my grid, y'all. So grid 1 is what? I mean, tier 1 of the grid is what?
Documentation.
Really? What?
The
Status.
national, I'm just saying
Status,
what's under that.
nationality.
What'd you say?
I was saying what's under that.
I'm like, huh? Where'd you get that from? So tier 1 is nationality process. Tier 2 is declaration of sovereign Moorish trust. Tier 3 is the right to travel. Tier 4 is removal of de facto court cases to the Moorish American Consular Court, and it has supporting documentation in the grid underneath it with supporting documentations in the actual outline. Tier 5 is national human trafficking process. Tier 6 is the allodial possession of property process. Tier 7 are writs and affidavits for your use. All of those writs and affidavits are going to actually have affidavit numbers. I haven't assigned them yet because I just haven't assigned them yet, so it'll be easy for you to find them. This is why I want to give them like a number. So it might be a MAC-A number. And you'll know A, unless I assign, you'll know A means affidavit. And I'm going to give them numbers. So whenever you're looking for them, all you have to do is put that number sequence in, and you'll be able to pull it right up and won't have any issues finding and locating that particular document. Okay? But that's coming probably in another week or 2 whenever I get around to it, or the spirit tells me to get it done. And then tier 8 is commands and directives from the Moorish National Republic, federal government, and the Moorish American Consulate. And all of those have actual record numbers. And those record numbers, they, like I said, have all been uploaded to the file section of the group besides 1111111. And the script, the script account also has them all. But like I said, if you put it in Google search, those numbers, they'll come up automatically. And then you'll be able to search them and download them. I've done this to make your life easy. And so you can stop emailing me, Sharon, I need MACN-R11111111.
Skip ahead.
Go to the file section of the group and download it for yourself. It's not there, Sharon. Okay, well, I'll put it there because I thought it was. But thank you for bringing it to my video. So, as of right now, we got like 25 commands and directives and written affidavits. I think we got 23. And they're going to increase and increase and increase because what we going to do? What was our oath? We going to do what?
Bam to the bone.
Thank you. I thought you was supposed to say that. But that comes first. Uplift fallen humanity by banging them to the bones, bleed. And I mean, and we won't want to bang you. You just gotta follow the laws. Like, come on, we can shut you down. We don't have a problem shutting you down because we can eat wheatgrass for a week, huh? What? Oh, you want to show it? I hate her, man. All right. So you can download these. I only made 5 copies because I didn't know how many people is gonna be here. Plus, I want you to be independent and to follow the Aboriginal road, as Robin would say.
Yeah.
Huh?
Follow the yellow.
No, it's not yellow because we ain't.
Aboriginal.
There we go. Huh? No, follow the Aboriginal road. If you keep following the gold road, you're gonna keep going under the UCC. Let me shut up. You gotta follow the Aboriginal road. All right. So, if anybody had brought up the documents, you will go right to, where we at? Where's it? The possession piece. Property possession. Where is it? Where's property possession? Oh, it's right here. Oh, it's half on it. Okay. Property possession. Anybody got tablets, laptops? Y'all got them up? What the hell? You gonna just keep, really?
Scanning.
All right. So, is there anybody who started the possession process? Let's just talk about that. Has anybody started it? I know you ain't coming up here. We're going to get it done one day. The possession process. You got to start it. Because you got to get all of your feudal homes into allodial homes. So you got to do it. So the first place you should do probably is the one that you domicile in. And if not, do the one that you really want. That you want to domicile in. So even though if you go to the so-called tax assessor's website to find out who owns the particular properties or what properties are available, just start going and getting in your conveyance and traveling around and see where you would like to domicile. Because one of the prophecies the prophet said was, Moors, y'all need to move close together. This process is the way we do that, repossession process. So we figure out where we want to domicile near, and we start claiming property there first. So we'll have multiple properties. And then you can kind of, I plan on having at least 1 to 2 to 3, I love 3, everywhere. In every corporate district. Y'all think I'm playing. I'm going to be in a different place every month. And I'm not going to be down here in the winter. This coming winter, I won't be here. Trust and believe. So claim a domicile in all the corporate areas where there's a consulate head. So that's New York corporate territory, that's New Jersey corporate territory, that's PA corporate territory, that's Seattle, Washington corporate territory, that's Maryland corporate territory, that's Atlanta, Georgia corporate territory. These are the places you want to claim domicile. So when we do activities all over the continent of Morocco, when we do activities, we want to be able to go there and enjoy and be in our comfort abodes, right? And somebody posted something. Well, what about the homeless? Do you think we're not thinking of them? That's one thing we are thinking of. More than we're thinking of ourselves, because we do need to claim places where we can have as a kind of like a hotel, claim a hotel, an abandoned hotel, or a so-called abandoned school, and use that as a way station for when Asiatics are claiming domiciles. So we can support our homeless individuals. that is a part of the process. But again, Moors, y'all have to get active and stop being passive. I don't want no passive Moors around me, and I don't care what nobody say. You gotta be active if you want to be. What?
We're gonna take over the Trump Hotel for the homeless.
Trump Hotel?
Yeah, I think that would be.
That's in New York?
All over. They got them all over.
They
huh?
do?
Yes, they do. He has
Sorry, it's-
27.
What?
How many of them?
27 within from here to Mexico.
27 of them?
27 hotels.
Wow. Who's doing that lean?
And
Damn,
then
why
since he
everybody
brought
be
it
having
up,
ideas and then when it comes to doing lean, oh, there she go.
How about it?
There we go. We got, okay, so we got two liens we want to work on Tuesday. We're going to work on the lien for the Trump Towers so we can have that facility, that building for our displaced Moorish American nationals. We'll use that. And I don't have a problem with it because they deserve luxury. And that's where they're supposed to be. So we are going to lien Trump Towers and we're going to lien Thomas West Publishing. And we're going to effectuate those liens by Tuesday of next week. And if any Moors out there want to jump the gun and do it. Don't wait for us. If you're already on fleet mode, process those liens and record them and put them on social platforms for the world to see. And we've already liened them because we already said that we was going to do it. So we've already done it. And that is for those two corporations because we do need those buildings for our displaced Moorish American nationals. Islam? As well as the schools because we want our directive is to have an academy where the locations, which will be Maryland, New York, New Jersey, Delaware, PA, where y'all gonna be coming, don't be traveling, until we duplicate it. So, but we'll,
Did we get a back number for each of the liens that we produce as well?
we should be doing MAC numbers for each liens that we produce, definitely.
Yeah. Because I did.
I know I do.
I did one in the banks and I didn't get a back number.
How you gonna get one if you don't ask one? I gave you 5, so you got 1 to
Why
use.
take one of these?
Because I know in the footer I add the lien numbers in the footers. I mean the MAC numbers of the liens in the footers. So I keep track of them, and they'll be universal. So if anybody ever want to look at my liens, at the bottom of the lien it'll tell you the MAC number for the lien, and then if you put it in Google search, it'll come up on Scribd, and eventually on the website for the
I
concept.
thought you were gonna put the one the bank I did on the website, so I never saw it.
Can I tell you, I'm working on the website. I'm not a computer web designer. I don't know how to do it. And I don't want to put 2 days into this, y'all. It's a billion of you out there, and I know at least 1 billion know how to do web design. I don't want to learn.
No, I'm sorry, that was before your incident.
I got access, but I don't know how to do it, and I don't want to. Y'all gonna be active because the ancestors told me to delegate, and I'm delegating that to a Moor out there that know how to do web design to call Sharon so we can establish and get some work done.
Not right now.
Huh?
Not right now.
Not right now. Don't call me right now.
Not
Because I'm
now.
on the Facebook. It ain't gonna come on that. If the phone was on it, it would have came on the phone. But it ain't gonna come on that. That's the answer. Don't call me now.